What is going on, everyone? Welcome to our Week 2 Thursday Night Football segment. Going to dive into this Thursday night game that we have between the Buffalo Bills and the home team of the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are a 2.5-point favorite in this matchup. Over-unders on an even 49. Dolphins money line at the minus 135. Bills at plus 115. Just me and Ace going to dive into this one. Ace, which way are you going on this AFC East matchup, being our AFC East correspondent?
Yeah, I mean, my preseason pick was the Dolphins to take home the division. I like them here in this spot once again. It's tough with Josh Allen, though, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We saw what he did last week in that comeback against the Cardinals. I just think there's going to be a lot of points. The public money scares me initially, but let me hear your initial take on this one before we dive in a bit more.
Yeah, I feel like in this certain matchup, if you're the Dolphins, this is one you got to get because I feel like they got to get them while the weather's warm. We know what happens to this team kind of late in the season. We saw it when they went up to Kansas City last year. I think their only chance of a deep playoff run, honestly, is getting the 1 seed in the AFC. But I do like their chances to win the division, kind of like what you said. But as far as the line on this game, which way do you lean?
I'm leaning towards those Dolphins. I think I'm going to take them there. Like you said, the warm weather, being at home, they like to split in these divisional games. Winning in South Florida is a tough thing to do. And we just saw Buffalo last week struggle against a Cardinals team that we were both high on. A lot of
Yeah.
people think will be better than they were before. Pretty pesky.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of people took Buffalo in that survival. They survived the week. I don't think they're able to do that again this week. The Dolphins didn't even get going until the second half. Neither did the Bills, so both offenses should be clicking. So once again, I like that overplay like I was talking about. But I think that it's going to be tough for this Bills team that lost so much on defense to be able to contain Hill, Waddle, who passed the concussion evaluation and finished over 100 last week, and the rest of the offense they have there. We didn't even see great games from a Chain or Mostert. So once they get going as well, I think it's going to be tough for the Bills to stop. And Josh Allen's going to have a tougher time against Miami getting back into a game when down big than he did against Arizona.
Yeah, I agree. I am on the Dolphins in this matchup, especially kind of leading off of what I said. I don't know when their next matchup is. I feel like this is a matchup where I love to pick the home team. Obviously, two completely different playing environments up there in Buffalo compared to Miami. I think the Dolphins got to start hot, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They picked up an ugly win last week against Jacksonville. Obviously, Tyreek gets detained before the game, scores his touchdown. They win a close game. The Jags 3.5-point dogs. They cover by the hook, but Dolphins get the win in that one. This is two 1-0 teams, like you said. The Bills eked out a win over a Cardinals team that I think is going to be pesky all year. We said that last weekend on the live stream on Sunday. I am going with the Dolphins to win this game. I think they'll handle business at home. Ask me in a couple of weeks when they go up to Buffalo. I probably won't be saying the same thing. I think these teams split their matchups this year. Give me the Dolphins to win the home matchup.
You know what's crazy is a lot of people want the Jets to win the division, and a lot of people still like the Bills, even after they lost pieces on offense and defense, which is crazy to me. But I've been on these Dolphins all year with that crazy value. I don't know why they're so overlooked for being regular season heroes. Playoffs, different story, but like the Cowboys, I'm going to gas them up here. I think they're going to keep rolling. Mike McDaniels, that offense playing well. I think a Tyreek Hill reception prop or yardage prop or to get in is a good play. Even after getting arrested, that all hit. Meanwhile, the Waddle play, like I said, is good. You can go with either Mostert or a Chain. I think they're going to score 4 touchdowns on offense this week. So I think all 4 of them do end up getting in. Then on the other side of the ball, I think Josh Allen, if I thought they were dead in the water. I thought they'd be competing with the Patriots for last. But after that gutsy win over Arizona last week, I think he might be able to backdoor his way into a playoff spot as a bubble team at least. I think that, like I said, the AFC North goes weaker this year. So I think that these Bills can maybe push for that 7th seed or at least be in the conversation with those AFC North teams. And it's going to be willed by Josh Allen, who could have an MVP type of year. He got in 2 or 3 times last week. I like him to get in again this week. I hope it's plus money. But what do you think about Josh Allen being able to carry the load by himself and propel this team?
Yeah, I haven't really looked at too much as far as a side or any props on this one. I was trying to find some anytime touchdown odds, and for some reason they're not posted, or at least weren't when I checked yesterday on MGM. They had like the weird thing where it's like gives you 2 guys to go over a half a touchdown. It only had those, so I wasn't even really looking at it. I do like the Dolphins in this matchup. I kind of agree with your point that there could be a lot of points in this matchup, but I always can talk myself into a primetime game going under. So
Yeah.
two offenses that love to keep it on the ground. That's another thing. But obviously the long player, the deep ball ability of the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill. We saw it last week with the 80-yarder. I'd look for him to get in for sure. I don't have a first touchdown pick on this one yet, at least. Like I said, I haven't really been able to look at much, but I do like the Dolphins. You'll probably see that on my card tomorrow night or tonight,
Yeah.
whenever this is playing.
I like that Dolphins play as well, and you're right. It is a primetime matchup, so I'm not going to card the over. If anything, I'd maybe look at a Dolphins team total over. But I just sent a play into our picks chat, locking one in over 24 hours in advance, and it's because I like this play so much. It's Josh Allen to get in the end zone. I feel like it's only going to get steeper as time goes on. It's on DraftKings right now for minus 105, so if you can go get that, lock it in. If it bumps up, then we'll buy back in maybe for a little bit more at the plus money, but I think minus 105 is the best we're going to see it at, and I think he finds the end zone once again. James Cook owners kind of in shambles lately. Dalton Kincaid had a terrible week too. I didn't know if you saw that last week. One reception. I feel like in the prime time they've got to get him going. We're going to hear those announcers talking him up about how good of a prospect he is. First round pick. His dud last week. He's due. I think he steps it up. But I wouldn't bet on him just yet. Keon Coleman shine bright. Khalil Shakir found the end zone. A lot of these playmakers around Allen are tough to predict, but that Allen ATD, that's what I'm going to lock in for sure.
Yeah. I like that. I'm on the Dolphins as far as props and stuff goes. Yeah, we'll make sure we get our official cards out tomorrow night or tonight, whenever you're listening to this, for this Thursday night matchup between Buffalo and Miami. Like we said, make sure you stay tuned for what we officially lock in. Ace, you got anything else you want to dive into on this game?
No, I'm just going to say thanks again to the NFL league schedule makers. I've been saying it a lot, but we had 4 great primetime games in week 1. Now we get Dolphins Bills on a Thursday night. You expect a lot less, in my opinion. So I'm excited to see this one too.
I don't remember what the Sunday night game is, but I know Monday's Falcons Eagles, so that's not a bad matchup in the NFC either.
What? They just love giving us great games now. It's
Yeah,
about
I
time.
mean, back when Thursday night football used to be Commanders Titans, like games no one cares to see, but
Bears
yeah,
and
they've been.
Texans Sunday night too. That's valid.
Who is it?
Caleb Williams versus CJ Stroud.
Okay, so they did the young matchup there. That's another
Yeah,
good 3
it's a good one to
primetime games.
watch.
So, yeah, make sure you stay tuned to see what we officially lock in on this game. But thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week or whenever for week 2.